Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Fair Life with Andrew McKee here on Life's a Fair. So, hey, hope your Monday and your last week was wondrous, and that you're having a great time of it so far. Uh, Looking forward to this coming up weekend of more fair, fun, and frolic that we always enjoy here on Fair Life. So I went ahead and started a little bit early tonight because, well, just an experiment, just to see how it goes. Sometimes I start right at 7 Central. Sometimes I start a couple minutes, late because there's some problem. Sometimes I'll start a minute early, but I actually started a couple of minutes early just to kind of see if it helped. I don't know. Do you think that's a good thing, bad thing? I mean, do y'all have a preference? I'm kind of curious. If you think starting right at 7 or me starting early just messes with your world, I can accept that. I can. But hey, everyone. Hey, Drew and Kevin and Damaris and Chris and Healy and Tanya and Kathy. Hey, great to see you. Yeah. But no, thank you. Okay. Chris says it's a nice stream, so that's good to hear. I did take a little time to make sure everything was looking good, and so far no dropped frames, no problems. Everything seems very solid, so good. Okay, Tanya says 7 is good. You don't really like to start a little early then? You're just more of the right on time type person? Damaris too? Okay. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and just do the whole start the preview screen a minute early kind of thing, and I'll start the animation right at 7, and then I'll come in right at a little after and approach it that way. Oh, okay. Well, yes. Oh, wow. Okay. I hope you feel better, Healy. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I am making an effort to try to end it around 30 after the hour. I'm putting forth an effort, so that is on my schedule. I am going to try to start doing that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, Drew. I think that's the way to do it. So the preview kind of early, just to kind of let people come in a little bit. Okay, I think that's what I'll try to do. So if you show up at 7, should be fine. That's exactly when I'm showing up, but the stream will be a little early. And hello, Janine. Great to see you. Okay, well, let's jump right in then. I know that my first news is that I found out that I essentially got hired. Most of you probably already know I'm going to be playing at the Louisiana Ren Fair for 6 weekends, starting in November and early December. But they also contacted me and are hiring me to handle the sound for them. They just need somebody to come in before Fair starts and go through their sound setup and just let them know if there's anything I think that they need more. And also, I told them, hey, let's go ahead. If I'm there already and there are other performers there on the Friday before Fair or whatever, like a lot of performers, they'll go the day before just to check out the stage, set up anything they need to. I can go ahead and do sound checks and make sure everybody's, perfect. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But I get to be in charge of sound. So yay, that's always that can be fun. I like that. But yeah. Wow. Okay. Lost in Cincinnati. That just sounds like a new television show. Right. But good. Glad you made it back. But yeah, so that's always a fun thing to have more responsibility, I guess. But it also is nice because I can also, handle the sound and fix any problems that are there, make the fair hopefully sound better. And, as a musician, that is always a goal. Other thing is, thanks, Tavares, I appreciate that. Yay for sound, guys. Other thing in the news is maybe some of you have heard a bit about Bandcamp lately. Now, Bandcamp is probably one of the main avenues of music sales for Ren Fair performers, Ren Fair musicians especially. But yeah, for the indie musician, Bandcamp is about the best there is and has been for several years. But they were sold again, and there's a lot of worry about what that's going to mean for Bandcamp. Okay, I guess for those of you that may not know what Bandcamp is, Bandcamp is an American online audio distribution platform, I guess is what you'd call it. It was founded in 2007. And how it works is artists and labels, potentially, they upload music to Bandcamp, and they get to control how they sell it. So they get to set their own prices, and they can offer users the option to even pay more, and they get to sell merchandise as well. It's not just CDs or digital downloads. So it's kind of cool. I'll put it this way: if a group of indie musicians were just sitting around the campfire and talking about, their ideal musical sales platform, this would be pretty close. So it works out pretty well. Well, okay. The gist. You really had to go there, Drew. This one time at Bandcamp. Oh my gosh, that needs to be a blog title, definitely. Well, the quick history is that about a year and a half ago, Bandcamp was purchased by Epic Games. A very weird coupling that the industry was kind of like, why did they do that? Because a gaming company owning a music platform like that just didn't really make much sense. They seemed to say that, oh, no, this is going to be great. We're going to integrate stuff and it's going to be wonderful. Well, they never did. And a year and a half later, they sell it again to a company called SongTrader. Now, it's made even more complicated because about 5 months ago, the employees at Bandcamp decided to unionize. They weren't happy with certain things. They cited lack of paid time off and low salaries. So they decided to unionize, and Epic Games, they actually hired a law firm to try to legally bust the union, but it didn't work. They managed to form a union, and yeah, it just they were in the process of negotiating with Epic, and then Epic sells the company to another business called SongTrader. Now, SongTrader is an audio licensing company. On the surface, that sounds like, oh, that could be pretty cool because, that could lead to more revenue for the musicians because we could have some of our music licensed and make some more revenue. Might be cool, right? But the problem is SongTrader, this whole process comes across as just an attempt to bust the union. And what Epic did was they didn't sell the company. They sold... They just sold the equipment and the name. They didn't sell the employees. So when they sold it to SongTrader, nobody had a job officially. SongTrader had the option to hire whoever they wanted. They could rehire, some of the employees or whatever, and that's what they did. They ended up letting half the workforce go. And it's a pretty big deal because the thing about Bandcamp, and I should state this and make this clear, they've always been a musician-first type of place. And SongTrader, they look at music as a commodity. So I don't really see that working out well. I'm worried about it, and a lot of people are. So we'll see. I mean, for now, everything's okay, but future of Bandcamp, big question mark, and it's going to affect a lot of Ren Faire performers. So it's something to keep in mind. Oh, cool. It's great to hear that you've purchased some music there, Janine. Yeah. Yeah, that is great that you can sell merch as well. Oh, is this going back to the musicians need a sound engineer? Yeah, for the sound at Louisiana. Yeah, it usually helps. At the very least, just having an objective opinion about how everything sounds. And tweaking it. It's hard to mix your own audio while you're performing. It really is. You can do it, but it's not easy. So yeah, this should help. And I don't know. We'll see how many groups actually take me up on it. I'll let you know to see. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, it really is. I mean, with some special equipment, what you can do is kind of get an in-ear monitor where you essentially have earbuds that you're hearing the raw mix. And they have to be very good quality so you can hear it. And with that, you could do a decent job. That might be generous, but you could at least balance it okay. The problem with that is you probably are not going to hear some of the small little things that are problems that you could fix. But the big things you could probably fix with that route. But if you're just trying to listen to it and then play something and listen to it from the stage and then go off and make adjustments that way, it's not going to work, because how you hear things on the stage is completely different from how the audience hears you. Completely different. And it needs to be. So, I mean, if you're hearing, if it sounds right on stage, then it must sound horrible to the audience. Woo. Well, no. I mean, not initially. Lisa, if you're asking about Bandcamp, I mean, the beautiful thing about Bandcamp, is Bandcamp's a beautiful thing. No, I'm kidding. It's, the beautiful thing about Bandcamp is that it is, you do buy the music and you do own it. I mean, you can download it. So if you downloaded your music, you own it. Technically, you can stream it too, but that's not primarily what it is. So yeah, you should have your music and it is yours. Yeah, so that should be okay. And hey, Ken, thanks for joining. So yeah, that's just the little news about Bandcamp. Something to be aware of. I'll keep you updated as the news comes out. Because, I mean, I'm on Bandcamp. A lot of the other musicians at Faire that I know are as well. So we're going to keep looking and seeing how that goes. I'm going to probably have some interesting conversations at Louisiana about this with some of the other performers, because this is a concern. It really is. And we're going to be talking about what alternatives there are, and if there are even any. I don't know of any good ones. But for now, we're just going to see how Bandcamp does. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't even put up a graphic, did I? Here you go. There's the Song Trader and Bandcamp logos. They can kind of see what they are. But Song Trader is really, they're just an audio licensing company. They're the largest audio licensing company, believe it or not. They've spent the last several years buying up a lot of other companies. Some of them other audio licensing companies, some of them metadata companies, a weird mix. So they're definitely hungry for media companies, and they are trying to put something together. I'm assuming that Bandcamp is part of the strategy, and everybody's kind of waiting to see how that is going to, what that's going to turn into. So other news, some interesting news. We have an anniversary coming up this fall. It is for Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is the 48th and a half anniversary, which, as you all know, is one of the big ones. That 48 and a half anniversary, big, very huge. So it is going to be back in theaters. They're doing a special. This is going to be, I looked it up. It looks like it's going to be December 3rd and December 6th are the 2 days they chose to put it in theaters all over the country. Possibly the world. I don't know. I mainly just looked in the U.S., to be honest. So if some of you are outside, you might have to check on that. I don't know if this is just a U.S. thing or more so Europe as well. But yeah, if you haven't seen Holy Grail in the theater, believe it or not, I have. They had one of the good things about going to the University of Texas is they show cool stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely something to check out. The 3rd and the 6th, the 3rd is a Sunday, and I'm going to be at the Louisiana Ren Fair, so there's no way there. But the 6th is a Wednesday. I think they just tried to pick 2 days that would work for theaters and people. And so Wednesday, the 6th, I'm probably going in Louisiana to see Holy Grail again. Because it's just awesome, definitely. Funny, very good. Oh, good, yes, excellent. I'm glad you're excited. This is, yeah, I mean, how many of you are planning on going? I mean, is this really cool for some of you? Because it's definitely get a group together and go if you can. It is an experience. And if social media has taught us anything, it's that's what people long for, an experience. So yeah, it's definitely a good experience and something really cool. And it's probably going to be much better quality than the last time I saw it, because I'm sure it's more of a restored version, I would think. So it should look really good. It should look really good. So yeah, okay. And so some of y'all are interested. Generally, yeah. And I mean, it's kind of cool just to kind of experience like what it must have been like 48 and a half years ago to see to see this classic movie on this theater screen. That was sometimes it's great to just see those classic films and to imagine what it was like for people back then to see them for the first time. Oh wow, I'm so jealous that you got to see him live. Yeah, I think so. Check it if they're showing it over there too, Healy, because I don't really. Yeah, I'm not sure about overseas, but it is definitely some cool options. With Monty Python, I would, considering their influence in Europe, I would think it would be a thing in Europe as well, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You never know. You don't know who the producer behind the production company behind doing all this was. The event coordinator and all that, if it was them or somebody else or what. I couldn't quite find all of that. It was mainly just this bit of PR and message, and I looked it up for theaters just to see what my options were. So you should totally sneak in coconuts, 2 empty halves of coconuts, definitely, and but just only bang them together at key moments during the film. Any other time is wrong. It has to be at those moments. I would think so. I would hope so. You're not wrong. But if you could get away with it at any movie, I think you could get away with it here. At the very least, just as you walk in. If you didn't do it during the movie, maybe. But I mean, let's be honest. I think anybody who goes to this movie, there's going to be people quoting the movie as it goes for the whole time. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be. So I think you can get away with a lot on this. It's very, yeah, it is, it's that type of film. It just is. So something to consider. So yeah, now I did the Faire list for this week, and it was interesting because one of the interesting issues with picking the fairs for the Faire list is you find out which ones are listed on the different sites and which ones are available and are going to be this weekend. But it's weird because where do you have the cutoff? What qualifies as a Ren Fair? I mean, I've kind of gone with Viking festivals and pirate festivals and fairy festivals as sort of tangentially there, depending on what type they are. But, I mean, some of them don't even have a webpage. I mean, maybe just a Facebook page, or some even just have an event reference on the page for a city, a small city. They just have their events for that city. At this park, you're having this Ren Fair, and that's their information page. That's all. It's a little weird. I kind of think you kind of have to be a little dedicated to get on there. It's kind of tough. So I try to figure out where that cutoff is, because there are plenty of fairs that certainly have that level of stability. I mean, you have some websites that they look like they were made 20 plus years ago. I mean, where frames and tables were this great new idea. And you can tell and some of them maybe were created 20 years ago and they just update the information, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as the information is updated, hey, that's great. It's all there. It doesn't have to be flashy. I mean, really, websites are more of a business card with the relevant information you need to have in order to enjoy the event. That's it. Anything else is gravy. So for a small fair that's one weekend and they have a lot on their plate, just having the information up there is good enough, and I have no problem with that. But yeah, I I think the cutoff I'm really using is that it just needs to have its own identity. If it comes across like it's this park, they're having this event and they're just theming it like a Ren Fair, and it's just one of many events that they do during the year, I don't know if I'd call that a dedicated event. That's more like brunch that is Renaissance themed. I mean, it just doesn't quite get to that level of Ren Fair to me. So I hope I'm not sounding too much like a snob here, but I also don't want to have like 50 Renaissance Fair events where 20 of them don't really seem like Ren Fairs. Yeah, you might be right on that, Lisa. The no motorcycles. Okay, that's good criteria. I mean, jousting motorcycles, though, I don't know. I might just add that as a cool factor and let that one go. Just because, yeah, Drew knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's there's some options there. But well, anyway, let's just go ahead to the fair list and make it happen here. Now we do have a good number. Oh, ouch! Snobbery becomes you. Thank you, Lisa. It's one of those hard things you have to kind of deal with when you're running a show, because it's, where do you draw that line? So I'm still figuring that out, but I'm trying to just at least. So there were a couple that I cut out this week that just didn't quite seem like Ren Fairs to me, and sometimes I do, but. Sometimes I'll throw one in just because I think, okay, it's not quite a Ren Fair, but it's just so cool. But generally, if something is questionable, yeah. I mean, like there was one I remember from, I think it was Louisiana several months ago that was it was a boat show. And they tried to make it pirate themed, but it was a boat show. It was just a bunch of people that wanted an excuse to go around and hang out with people and go on their boats. That was it. And I was just kind of like, no, that's not it. So I do try to make those decisions. Jousting on mopeds. Oh my God. That would be, the hilarity would make that worth it for me. I would just, yeah, that would be kind of fun. They'd have to be European mopeds just to make it authentic. I'm just saying. It's the little things sometimes. Yeah. Go full Vespa. I like it. Okay, well, let's jump down to the fair list. We have, okay, let's see. We have, like I said, a pretty good number this week. It is kind of going, some of the fairs are ending this week. Some ended last week. You're getting a few one-weekend fairs. So we're kind of in that transitional time to the last bit of the fall fairs. You're seeing a lot more down south now because the weather's changing and it's getting cooler. A Vespa with wings. Oh, okay. Now you're just imagining it. Are we going to have to create this now? And ski jousting? If they'd said that they were doing that at that Louisiana Pirate Festival, I might have included it. I might have included it, Drew. I might have included it. That could have been a thing. So, hey, now you know. Okay, well, here's a nice little cat-friendly laser dot. So we can start with a going through the fairs. Okay, first off, we have the Pennsylvania. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, that's still there. Okay, forget that one. That one's ended. So yeah, that one's, yeah, just ignore that one to the right. That one shouldn't be there. I don't know why that's there. Okay. Then we go to the Pennsylvania Ren Fair. This is its last weekend, Halloween Days and Spooky Nights 3 in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Jumping down to, let's see, this doesn't, I'm missing something. There should be one right here. I'm missing a couple of fairs here. There should be a Delaware Renaissance Festival. I might be using, we're going to have to fight through this one. I'm sorry, guys. Something's wrong here with the graphic. There's a Delaware Renaissance Festival in Townsend, Delaware, right around here. That is its first weekend out of 3. Then it might be here. No, that's, okay, maybe. Then there's the Virginia Renaissance or the Ravenwood Fair in Clearbrook, Virginia, founded in 2019. That's the medieval one. Then you jump down to the Carolina Renaissance Festival. It's its 5th weekend out of 8. And the theme is Halloween Days and Spooky Nights. That's in Huntersville, North Carolina. Wow, wait a minute. I'm dealing with an old... Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm dealing with the old graphic. Son of a... Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I know what happened. You got this. Hold on. Boom. Okay. Whew. Now we've got this. Okay, where were we? Never fails, right? Okay. So, we'll just pretend that last minute didn't happen, and here we go. I knew there's a reason I started early today. Okay, Pennsylvania Ren Fair. In Manheim, Pennsylvania. It's its last weekend, and the theme is Halloween Days and Spooky Nights 3. We have the Delaware Renaissance Fair in Townsend, Delaware. It's a first out of 3 weekends. Then we have Ravenwood Fair in Clearbrook, Virginia, founded in 2019. That's its second and last weekend. Going down to the Carolina Renaissance Festival. It's its 5th out of 8 weekends, so it's still got a ways to go. The theme is Halloween Days and Spooky Nights, and it's in Huntersville, North Carolina. Whew, okay. Finally got this figured out. Then jumping down to Boynton Beach Haunted Pirate Fest and Mermaid Splash. That's a long thing to say, in Boynton Beach, Florida. Jumping over to Alabama, we have the Alabama Renaissance Festival. These are both only 1 weekend fairs, and this is in Florence, Alabama, in northwest Alabama. Then jumping down to southern Alabama, we have the Guadeloupe Renaissance Festival in Dauphin Island, Alabama. That's an SCA event that they create an SCA. The SCA group down there created their own Ren Fair, so good for them. Definitely cool. Then jumping over to Ohio, we have the Ohio Renaissance Festival. This is their last weekend, 9th weekend. The theme is Tricks or Treats in Waynesville, Ohio. Going over to Hartville, Missouri, we have the Feast of the Goblin King. This is only 1 weekend, and this is put on by the White Hart Ren Fair. So this is one of their events for the fall. Then jumping down to Arkansas, we have the Hot Springs Renaissance Fair in Hot Springs, Arkansas, also only 1 weekend. Then going down to the Texas Renaissance Festival. This is the 4th out of 8 weekends, and the theme is All Hallows Eve. This is in Todd Mission, Texas. Then just a little ways east of that is the Southeast Texas Renaissance Fair, and they have the oddest themes there. Their theme is A Fairy and Magical Spooktacular Weekend. And this is in Call, Texas. This is their 3rd out of 5 weekends. Then jumping over to California, we have the All Hallows Fantasy Fair in Angels Camp, California. This is just 1 weekend. And then going down south, we have the Escondido Renaissance Fair Fall Edition in Escondido, California. This is their 1st out of 2 weekends. So there you go. Woo! Okay. Can't believe I messed up and put the wrong graphic there, but oh well, it happens. Okay. Oh. Yes. Oh. Always good. Yep, Halloween. It's very big, and that is the dominant theme going on right now because it is not very far away. So yeah, prepare for that for Halloween. And yes, Drew, you are not wrong. Featuring Joaquin the Magician. Yes, that is at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Wow. Okay, it's been one of those Mondays, but well, it's still before 7:30, so let's go ahead and jump into a 7 reasons real quick, and I'll try to get through this quick. I made sure that this is actually set up correctly, so that's always a good thing. As I mentioned Bandcamp earlier, that it is I thought about the 7 reasons I thought Bandcamp was just so awesome, because for musicians and performers at least. So just the real quick version of this. Number 7 is Bandcamp is not a streaming service. I mean, streaming services don't treat musicians very well. Let's just be honest on this, especially financially, but in other ways too. And while Bandcamp, you can stream stuff from Bandcamp once you pay for it and everything. It's primarily a download service where you can download your music and it is yours. You can do what you have it. You can play it, put it on your phone or whatever, and that's cool. I really like that one. Number 6, it's DRM-free audio, because one of the problems with DRM is kind of like what you said. You actually get to own your music, because DRM locks you into using a particular device or particular piece of software or whatever. And with this, you can, once again, put it on any device and play it with anything. So always good. Don't worry, I'm coming to that, Kat. Number 5, merch other than CDs. I mean, you can sell digital music, you can sell CDs, but you can also put t-shirts, mugs, whatever else you want on there, USB drives, and sell them. And it's a really cool option for especially the indie musician. It's wonderful to be able to do that, that they do support that. And they don't take a huge percentage. It's not much. I mean, they do take some, but it's not that much. Number 4, the Bandcamp community. I mean, there's a lot of discussions going on, community pages on there that as performers, musicians, and patrons, you can get involved and talk and chat and have a good time. It's a good thing, and a lot of people like it for that. Number 3, Bandcamp Fridays, and that's what Kat mentioned earlier. Yeah, Bandcamp Fridays are usually the first Friday of every month. What they do is they don't take the percentage revenue that they would normally take. I mean, you still have a credit card percentage you have to take out, but they don't take out from that. So the musician gets as much as possible for that. And they started doing that during the pandemic, during COVID, as just sort of a way to support musicians. But it was so popular, they've kept it going. So it's usually the first Friday of every month, and they call it Bandcamp Fridays, and it's just really cool. Number 2, and what I was just saying, better supports the musicians. I mean, better than, well, anything else, really. I mean, it's they've always had that musicians first mentality, and they've proved it again and again. So then number 1, Bandcamp Daily. Now what that is it's kind of interesting, because every day they put out a page or newsletter or whatever that shows this is the new stuff that maybe you want to check out. And they highlight stuff that normally you would never see, but they think it's worthwhile, and they jump around a lot. I mean, a lot of people get showcased, and it really introduces people to the masses. And it's a very non-elitist way to do it. Their approach seems very earnest and supporting good quality music that people just haven't been exposed to. So yeah, if you just want something besides Taylor Swift, it's an option. So yeah, something to check out, always fun, and that is my 7 reasons. So okay, cool. So just a little after 7:30, so you can get some sleep, because I know it's late. Oh, okay. So well, that's why I tried to do it, because I figured some of you wouldn't really quite, wouldn't quite know what it was about. So I'm glad that helped. I mean, we'll see if it changes. Maybe it won't. There's always a chance Songtrader will use it for what it is, and use it as try to use it as just a resource to have more music they can license, and tried to make it a way to have goodwill. But they just started off in a very questionable way by firing a bunch of people. I don't know. Maybe that was an attempt to bust the union. Maybe it was a way to just, help the bottom line. I don't know. But it just really questions their approach. And so a little worried about it. But, we were all worried when Epic Games bought them. of a year and a half ago, and they really didn't do anything with it. I think they just didn't know what to do with it. They thought it sounded good, and they really had no clue. So I don't know. Maybe it'll something similar will work out with Song Trader. Here's hoping. Maybe they can get it back together. So yeah, exactly. That's kind of what Bandcamp is like, Janine, and of getting to hear about new music. So yeah. Anyway, well, thank you very much for joining me on Fair Life for another fun Monday of fun, frolic, and silliness. But let's go ahead and call it here and have a good time this weekend. And I will see you next Monday for another dose of Fair Life. Take care.